Hey everyone, it's Mr. G, and I just received my first microbit. So I'm gonna crack this thing open and try to figure out how to use it with Scratch. So this is gonna be a learning experience for me and hopefully for you too. I've never used one of these things before. It's basically like a little computer that you can program. So I can't wait to figure out how to use this. If you've ever used one of these microbits using Scratch, would you put a link to your project in the comments below? Because I'd love to check it out and maybe try your program on my microbit. Alright, so let's open the box. I've already gone ahead and cut open the tape. We have some safety guides here. We have the microbit itself in this anti-static wrapping. So it looks like the microbit comes with a battery, so we don't have to be connected to USB on the computer the entire time. And it also comes with a short USB cable. It's a micro USB cable to connect it to a computer. Let's take out the microbit from the bag. And on this side, we see that the microbit has a 5x5 red LED screen on it with two programmable input buttons, A and B. And on the other side, we see a button that restarts the microbit. You can see the processor here in the top left. And we also see that it has a couple of sensors there. It has a compass and an accelerometer. We have some pins here on the bottom, so we can probably connect some kind of metallic structure and use them for inputs later on. You see that it has an antenna and the connector for the battery and an input to connect the USB. And there you have it. This is the microbit. Alright, so let's plug this into the computer and see if it's automatically detected. So we're going to take the USB cable, the micro USB cable, and plug it in until it clicks. There we go. And now I can plug it into the USB port on my computer. And we see the status light turned orange and the board is flashing. So I'm assuming that it works. And it says, hello, I think. Hello, period. And now it's saying A pointing to the left, B pointing to the right. Anything else? S-H-A, shake. When I shook it, it displayed a whole bunch of lights, maybe randomly or something. And I think it's not going to do anything else. Maybe it's not programmed to do anything else. Wait, there it goes again. It says chase the dot. So what do I do? How do I play this? Oh, the accelerometer is allowing me to turn the board, and it can detect. Oh, that's so cool! It can detect where which way it's angled. So there we go. And then when I hit the dot, it goes to a new location. All right, but let's start programming this thing ourselves. So if you go to your browser and you type in microbit.org. And since we have our microbit, we have to click on Get Started. What do I need to get started? And now we get taken to a page that has the 5 easy steps for using the microbits. So we already did the first step, which was connecting into the Mac. You can see that up here we have different operating systems. You could even hook this up to your iPhone or Bluetooth enabled device. But since I have Mac OS, we're going to use the Mac one. So in step 2, I'm going to select the Make Code Editor and then click the Get Coding button. Now on this page, there's already a few tutorials that we can use and maybe download to our microbit. But what's the fun in that? Let's just dive right into the code editor by creating a new project. The interface looks pretty similar to Scratch in that we can drag blocks from the different palettes or toolboxes onto the programming area. And it looks like we can test our code or our program in the microbit simulator on the left side. Remember that the program code runs from top to bottom, and it requires some sort of event to start. We can bring multiple event blocks into the programming area and add code to each before we run them. As you can see in all these different palettes, there are a lot of blocks that we can use. And because I haven't used all of these or any of these really, I'm going to have to learn this on the fly. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to try to draw a smiley face when the thing starts. So So there is my smiley face, and on start, I want it to show a smiley face. We can see that it's already working in the simulator, but I want to see it running on the real thing. So I'm going to have to download the code. And while I could put it in the downloads folder or the desktop, I'm going to see if I could just save it directly onto the microbit by selecting it as the destination of the download. So let me hit save. And it looks like it worked. I now see the smiley face on my microbit. I didn't have to click anything, although maybe if I unplug this, I might have to reset it. I think the reset button is used when you download a program onto your microbit, but it looks like it's working right now. First, I want to see if we have a wait block so I can show my smiley face. Look at that, we do. So I can show my smiley face and then start doing something else for the remainder of time. Now this wait block is in microseconds, so there are 1 million microseconds in 1 second. So I'm gonna have to wait, let's say I want to wait 2 seconds, I should wait 2 million microseconds, and that's 100, 1,000, 100,000 million. There we go. And actually, you know what? Why don't we show a sad face after waiting 2 seconds? So let us make this face sad. So let's test it out in the simulator. I hit pause, or I hit stop, and I'm gonna hit start the simulator. So we see a smiley face, and it goes pretty quickly down to frowning face. Maybe there's a reason we can't use microseconds, or microseconds isn't accurate. Did I do that right? I did that right, so I'm not sure why it's not working. But when I open up the documentation, it does not look like, oh, there, look what it says. This function is not supported in the simulator. So maybe it'll work in real life, but not in the simulator. So that's why it's going from smiley face to sad face really quickly. So let me download this file and throw it into the microbit, and I'll show you how to do that. So let's download. And instead of saving it directly to the microbit, I'm going to throw it onto the desktop. I'm going to hit save. And there we go. I see my hex file. So now I can click and drag it onto the microbit and let it go right in there. So let's see if it's working. It's already frowning. So how do I restart this? Oh, I think I could hit this button over here on the back and restart the microbit. So I'm going to hit it, and it turns on, smiley face, waits 2 seconds, and then goes to sad face. Perfect. Looks like it works. Let me just restart it one more time to test it out. 1, 2, then it goes to frowny face. Perfect. All right, so how do we get this thing working on Scratch? So if we want to run it on Scratch, we're going to have to add the extension over here in the bottom left, and we have to look for microbit. There it is. So we're going to click on this extension, and it says that we need to make sure we have Scratch Link installed and running, and we have to check that Bluetooth is enabled. So I have to make sure that both of these things are true. But I do know that I don't have Scratch Link installed. So let me go to help and let me download Scratch Link. So I'm gonna have to go to the App Store and download Scratch Link for the first time. And now that Scratch Link is downloaded, I now see an S on my toolbar, so I know that it worked. Next, we have to download the Scratch microbit hex file. So I'm gonna do that, and it's a zip file, so I'm gonna have to unzip it. And then I can drag this file, this new file, from the zip file into the microbit. And now that we've done that, we can go back to Scratch and see what's available. So I didn't show it, but I had to turn on Bluetooth on my laptop in order to be able to connect to the board. So let me connect to it, and now we're connected. Now we can go to the editor, and now we can start using these new blocks to do stuff on our microbits. So just to see if it's working, when the A button is pressed, I want to display a heart, and let me recreate this. And when the B button is pressed, I want to display, let's see, let's just do a giant blob of, let's just turn on all the LEDs. What am I saying here? All right, so I'm wondering if I have to do anything else to make sure that this works. Let's just try it out. So it looks like nothing's happening on the microbit until I press the buttons. And it looks like it's working. When I press the A button, it displays a heart. When I press B, all of the LEDs are firing. So just like that, we can get our microbit working on Scratch. In the next video, I'll see if I can come up with a creative idea and then create it using Scratch and the microbit. Or maybe I'll go back to the microbit editor because it looks like they have a lot more blocks and functions that I can use. But before I go, I want to show you a project that one of my colleagues made called Mr. Boppy. So you high-five the robot and then it opens up and you can grab a candy. And that is using a microbit.